Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther and you are welcome. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make meat pie in quantity just within the confinement of your home. You don't need to use any machine or whatever. And yeah, let's get right into it. And these are the ingredients you will need. For the dough, you're going to be needing your flour, you need your margarine, you need your baking powder, you need your nutmeg, and you need your salt. I'm using a salted margarine in this video, so I don't need salt. So whenever you're using a salted margarine, you don't need salt. And for the utensils, you need your chopping board, you need a foil pan, you need your knife, you need your spoon, you need your brush for the egg wash on the meat pie. You need your baking tray, your rolling pin, your measuring cups, your egg whisker, you need your foil paper, you need your bowls, and you need your meat pie molder. You need strength and you need patience. You need some music, you need a company, you need maybe a movie if you want to be seeing a movie and be making it. You need all those things. And here, this is my plastic wrap. I use this plastic wrap to wrap up the dough because I'll be making dough in quantities. So I use it to wrap up the dough so it wouldn't dry out. And I'm going to be keeping them, one by one. And when I want to use them, I take them one by one. So yeah, these are the utensils, and we will go right into the filling. Here we have our filling. The filling is what is inside the dough. That's the meat pie. Yes. Yeah, we'll have our meat, we'll have our seasonings, the seasonings, the stock cubes, and the thyme. We have our carrots, we have our Irish potatoes, onions, we have our flour and water. The flour and water mix is just to keep the filling moist so that when it is put in the oven it wouldn't dry out. We have our vegetable oil, and we have our meat, of course. So these are all the ingredients that we'll be using for the filling, the meat filling inside the pie or inside the dough. And we're going to go ahead and prep all the things one by one. We're going to prep our carrots, and we're going to prep our Irish potatoes, and yeah, we'll go right into cutting it. And when you're making something for the public, because people have different opinions and all that, and different tastes, you want to cut your carrot very tiny. Your vegetables, you want to cut them tiny just to meet people at the middle. Both the potatoes and the carrots, you want to cut them very tiny. And here, as you can see, I have a bowl of water and I have my Irish potatoes. The bowl of water is to preserve my Irish potatoes from changing color. If you leave it out and it's exposed to air, it changes color. So here I put it inside the bowl of water for it to maintain the color. I'm making in large quantity, so before I get to it may change color, so I just put it in water. And as you can see, I'm cutting my onions. I already told us the need to cut something very, very tiny when you're making something for the public. I've made meat pie one time, and someone was like, oh, why is onions in the meat pie? Other people want onions to be in their meat pie, so somehow you have to meet people in the middle, and that's why I cut it really, really tiny. And after I've sauteed it on fire, you won't really notice it. The flavor will just be there. So right now it is time to cook our filling. And I don't normally use oil, but because I need to stir fry the onions, the ingredients before I add the meat, so I'll put just a tiny amount of oil. The reason I don't normally put oil is because the meat brings out a lot of oil. You're going to see it here. It brings out a lot of oil. Sometimes I have to drain out a little bit of oil just to give out something that is healthy, that is not just full of oil. So here I've added my onions and I'm trying to stir fry it, and this is how I do it. And I add my thyme. I try to stir fry all these things properly, and then also add some salt before I now add my meat. When I do this, like I've been doing this and I've been making meat pie and I've been getting good feedback. So when I tell you to try this method, I know what I'm saying. I will suggest you try this method. You're going to see the difference. So when I finish sauteing it like this and it has come to a good mix and everywhere is just basking with flavors, I go ahead and start adding our meat in chunks. I add them and I mix them properly. Before I allow it to now start cooking, I mix it properly. I make sure all the ingredients meet up with the meat, like enters into the meat. And after that, I will now cover it and allow it to cook. And if you can watch closely, you can see just the meat I added. You can see already is bringing out its juice. Like the oil that comes out from this meat is something else. Like it's so much. It will just be boiling and you think I added water. I didn't add any water, just the oil from the meat. That's why I don't add oil. And you see the juice is already the oil is already coming out. So I allow it to cook properly. And yeah, after it has cooked for some time, did you see all that oil and all that juice just from the meat? So I stir it properly, taste for salt, just make sure all the ingredients are equal. And I add my diced carrots and I also add my diced potatoes. I try to mix them properly just to make sure that they are evenly distributed, so you wouldn't have carrot here and you have potatoes here. So when I pour them in, I mix them properly for them to be evenly distributed. So after mixing it properly and I cover it to cook, I go to make our flour mix. You can remember when I was showing you the ingredients, I showed you flour and water when I was showing the ingredients for the filling. This flour mix is to keep the moist of the filling, so that when you put the meat pie in the oven, the filling doesn't dry up. So this mixture of flour and water, it helps to keep the meat pie filling moist, and it's going to be like that even after the meat pie has entered the oven. You will still get it moist when you eat it. I added about 1 cup of flour and water, and you see I pour it into the meat pie filling and I mix it properly. And if you look closely, you can see a difference. You can see that the meats are no more just standing on its own. You can see that they are moist. It brought them together, and that's how it's supposed to be. Make sure that your carrots and your potatoes doesn't get too soft. Just when they are okay, you bring them down. After mixing this, I'll keep it aside to cool down and I go to mix my dough. Now when I'm mixing my dough, even though I'm making the meat pie in quantity, I'm making about 200 pieces of meat pie, I don't mix the dough. I don't mix it together. I don't mix everything together. The reason I don't do that is because I'm just using a bowl. There is a very high tendency that I may not get everything together. Baking powder may just stay in one corner, the nutmeg may just stay in one corner. So I take the pain or the stress, which I don't even consider pain or stress, because it makes, you know, the mix to be very rich. I take the pain of going one by one, like I do it batch by batch. 1 kg, one batch, you know, another 1 kg, the second batch. I mix them one by one. And another thing I want to tell you is, if you want to make a very good meat pie, just make sure you add enough margarine. That meat pie, if you want it to be crispy, you don't want it to be too dry, you know, you want it to be soft and at the same time, you know, not soft. So you just put enough butter. It's going to be so enough margarine, I mean, you put enough, and it's going to be so buttery in the mouth, and you know, it's going to be really good. My customers can testify. Yeah, so I go ahead and mix. So after mixing it properly, you know, and I am satisfied with the consistency, I put it in a plastic wrap, and I, you know, just put it there and cover it up, and I mix other batches. This is number 1, this is number 2. I just go ahead and add the number of dough I'm going to make and keep it. And after doing that, I go ahead and, you know, prep other things. I prep my baking pan, and I just put the foil over the baking pan, just because it's for the public, and you know, I try my best to make it as neat as possible. So if I'm making it personally, I may just, you know, I wouldn't even care. I'll just make it with my baking pan. But because I'm making it for the public, I try to make it very neat. And after lining up the foil, I put margarine on it. This margarine helps the meat pie not to stick to the foil. You're going to see it when the meat pie is ready. It doesn't stick to the foil, and also I like the color it gives it at the bottom. So I love to put margarine on the foil or the patch paper. And yeah, work surface is ready. This work surface is properly washed, dried, it is cleaned. Yeah, and everything is ready. You can see the egg wash, every, and you know, work is going on. Go ahead and roll out the meat pie and cut it out the quantity, I mean the size I want. And yeah, I just roll it and keep it. And then here I'm doing the egg wash. The egg wash helps to, you know, give the meat pie that golden color. So the egg wash is very important, and that is what I am doing here. And after this, I will perforate it with, you know, the toothpick, as you can see, just for air bubbles to go out. And I put it in the oven, and yeah, after about 30 to 35 minutes, our meat pie is ready. I go ahead and clean the foil pan, and my hands are neat, and I transfer the meat pie from the baking tray to the foil pan, getting it ready for the customer to take it. So it's a lot of meat pie. Please grab your copy, grab your own meat pie right now. Yeah, this is the second batch after the first batch. This is the second batch. You see how good that meat pie is looking, how golden. You need to just take a bite into it. and then you just ask me, please make me 1,000 pieces of meat pie. Yeah, I have a video that will be coming up. I don't know how soon it's gonna come up, but not now, where I'll be showing how I made about 400 pieces of meat pie. So yeah, I make meat pie for occasions, for birthday parties, for get-togethers. Yeah, can you see that meat pie? See how nice it is looking? Go ahead and try your own. If you want to make some meat pies for your get-together, just these few tips I've shown you, just go ahead and apply it, and I'm sure you will like it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, my name is Esther. Please subscribe, and thank you so much for subscribing. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and until next time, stay safe, stay in God. I love you so much. Bye.